Live. All right, and we are live. Yes. Welcome, everyone. I'm here with Matt. We are going to be talking about Hamlet. We're going to be talking about the theology of Hamlet as well. This is, you are part of the reason why Shakespeare has entered the corner. So I thank you dearly, because I wanted him to show up and people were not interested. people were like a little. Shakespeare is something that I directed Shakespeare for youths, and part of what I had to do was like convince the kids that this was good, like that this play was worth doing, and that they should be proud of it, and this was going to be such a good time. Like that was a major part of what I was doing.
And this play in particular, I mean, I'm sure a bunch of his others as well, but because it deals so like Centerfold is, I mean, I don't think Hamlet's quite an adolescent, but I mean, you could easily write this as in part, like part of the context is a kid kind of grappling with puberty at the same time. Just a whole new dimension of interiority that he can't unsee and that everyone else seems to be in complete denial of as well. It's just feeling all of his feels all of the time.
So I've been through this play a ton, and what you just said there is just like, oh, is this what I like about the play? Because I came across this play the first time I ever witnessed any version of it. I was in grade 8. I was like 12, 13 years old. And like I knew To Be or Not to Be because it was in everything. It was in the Animaniacs. I was telling you, it's in the Animaniacs. Yep. The what's it called? Billy Madison does it. Yep. Harriet the Spy does it. Where like Boy Meets World, To Be or Not to Be, like all that stuff I had to deal with. And yeah, this is.
I got my prop. Yorick.
It's very good. It's very good.
Hey.
So
I'm much better with the balloons than I am with the Sharpie art.
Yes. You should have made it like out of the long ones. I think I'm very interested how you would make a skull. Anyway,
I'll have to think about that one. I'm working on a very big piece that I'm happy to show off very soon for somebody's wedding in the near future. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this.
But I was in grade 8. I was in the throes of puberty, as you were saying, when I first watched Mel Gibson's version, and I was like obsessed with it. So much so that like a student teacher bought me this shortened copy of Hamlet, which was the first I read, so that it was manageable. Because in its entirety, the thing is, it's Shakespeare's longest play bar none. And it's the biggest part is in any of his shows is Hamlet. So, and I was like just in the middle of puberty. So all that idea about self-discovery and understanding and everything, man, it felt like you were just saying that to my soul. So thank you, sir.
Yeah. I think it helped. Again, I taught middle schoolers for a couple of years not too long ago. Yeah. So that dealing with that age group is still it's just in the back of my mind. Again, I learned so much about my own puberty watching, dozens of them going through at the same time. Just like, oh, that's what I was dealing with. Oh, okay.
Man, yeah. Thank you for what you're bringing to this conversation, because this is already connecting with a lot of things for me. Okay. Talk about, you said you wanted to talk about your interpretation, or what did you get out of this? What are we talking about here?
Well, I voted that we start with, since we're auditioning for Macbeth.
That's right.
And you asked us to read Hamlet, or as our audition piece, and I figured I'd start by being our guinea pig and doing a little auditioning. So if you want to do that now, or kind of
let's set up for that. So if you are interested, we are going to be doing a reading of Macbeth, and we're going to cast it, and we're actually going to do rehearsals so that people kind of have a better idea of what to do with their passages, so it's not just reading, so that we know where inflection is and everything else. And and then we're going to record the scenes individually and then edit it together to be one big stream that everyone can be a part of and watch and everything. So if you are interested, we kind of are telling people they can audition with anything, but I've been handing out, that this too solid flesh would melt, that particular monologue for people to do, which you did a quick reading of for Paul on Friday, which I really appreciate. But please get it out there. Send it to either me, myself, or Grim. Would love to hear from people.
Yeah. And I'm also happy to play middleman. If you send it to me, I will send it directly to them also. So
that's a very good point. I will say, though, that part of why people thought we were going to be doing Hamlet is because you were reading Hamlet and people were very interested in Hamlet. But again, Hamlet is so long and so focused on one person. And I want this to be a collaborative thing. That's why I was like, let's go Mackers instead.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one with experience in this domain, so I defer completely to you.
Yes.
And I initially, my Shakespeare's kick started because I was going to try and read King Lear, because that's the one that was most influential on Moby Dick and Herman Melville. And then I started tracked down King Lear, listened to an Audible version for a little bit, and then picked up a book on kind of Shakespeare's later tragedies. And was so immediately was like, this is an incredible book. I can't wait to kind of share more of what I'm learning from that book. Yeah. But also it started the book starts with Hamlet. And it's like, well, I guess I will follow the book's kind of timeline for plays and work my way through that. So then I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to do Hamlet first and work my way up to King Lear.
Yeah. Well, it seems that there's being demands that you start. I'm actually going to not look at the chat at all. I'm going to move it away because I just want this conversation to be our conversation. Maybe I'll turn to the chat when needs be. But
I have also full screen, so shout into the void, folks. Shout into the void.
That's good. That's good. Okay, I'll return the favor.
However, I also do love watching the live chat replay afterwards, so you'll be seen eventually.
Right.
Don't worry.
Right. Okay, go ahead, Matt. Whenever you would like.
Okay, you want me to give you my piece?
Yes.
I give my edition now?
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I'm gonna take 2 runs at it because I did my best to try and memorize it, and I got about halfway through. So I'll go off book totally, and then we'll do a reading. Let's see here. Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannons 'gainst self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. How rank and gross in nature.
Things rank and gross in nature.
Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. Not 2 months dead. Nay, not so much. Not 2. Okay, yeah, I'm tapping out.
Okay.
It's the whole once somebody watches
no,
you.
No, it's good. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
One of the things that fascinates me about Shakespeare is his ability to interrupt himself.
It's so frustrating.
Yes.
So frustrating. Oh my God. But
it's how people really talk, and somehow he does it in meter occasionally too, which is even crazier. But characters interrupt themselves and correct themselves. His characters will say contradictions to themselves. It's one of my favorite bits. And you see it here as well.
Yeah. This is why, for those looking to audition, me trying to memorize it was so important, because it's in trying to recite and not just reading. We're focusing on, actually saying the words that I'm like, oh, I completely botched the grammar of this sentence.
Yeah.
Like I like under like in particular that line, an unweeded garden that grows to seed, things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. Like it's they're kind of cut in half, and so like half of one sentence is in one line, and the
Yeah.
other one is in the other, and it just took me a minute to like realize like, oh, okay, that's like an unweeded garden that grows to seed. I think the capitalization on my thing didn't help me either.
Yeah. But one of my favorite lines. Let me just add this to stage. Actually, let me make it bigger. This is ridiculous. People can't see this. Okay, one of my favorite bits of this is down here. Wait, did I? Yeah. Here we are. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not two. So he says his dad's been dead for 2 months and then catches himself and was like, it's not even that long.
Like he keeps kind of tripping up over the math.
Yes.
Like first off he overstates, and then in a minute he'll like understate, like just 1 month, Mom.
Yes. Would you? Okay.
Let me.
I don't know how you want to do this.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just go forward. I got a printout in front of me too, so you don't need to worry about the scrolling here. Okay, all right.
Do that, and I'll switch back to this. Go ahead.
All right.
Would you like it if I went away?
No, it's fine. Like now that I'm focusing on the text in front of me while I'm reading, it's fine.
Can I give you like if we're gonna play if we're gonna play audition, can I give you a way of doing it? So do the interruption of yourself, and where you interrupt to say not so much, not to, like, so interrupt yourself when you do that. And the second is find the word unprofitable. How weary, stale, flat, and like discover it as you come across, like as though you don't know what you're about to say.
And it is a little like short, like very clip, like short.
Yeah. Exactly.
Searching for the right word and finding. Anyway, yeah. Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew, or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it! Fie! 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Not so much. Not even 2. So excellent a king that was to this. A Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month or ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body like Niobe, all tears. Why, she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. She married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. O most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, I must hold my tongue.
Lovely. Yeah, that was good. It's such a good. He interrupts himself so many times in it. The text, he mumbles. Like he's so good, and yet why she like this, like Niobe, all tears, why she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. right? Like, what is why she, even she? Like, it is very, why she, even she, oh God, is, it's perfect. It's like he interrupts himself as he gets emotionally worked up thinking about what is going on. This is, yeah. This is the first time we get him. So more your thoughts before I get into it.
Let me see here. The biggest thing, again, now that I've kind of got like the whole play in mind, one of the things that kind of kept turning up for me is just this incessant like focus on like decay, like decomposition, this like not just the fact that we must die, but dying is gross. And I don't know, maybe that's part of Hamlet's whole, like,
that's the part of that's the part of him even picking up a skull and looking at it and thinking about how it once belonged to someone that he loved.
Yeah.
Right. That like, where's everything that made you who you are now? Like, what is left of you? Right.
And again, like even before this, in his, when he's kind of like interrogated by his uncle, like just before the soliloquy and talking to his mother, and like you already see him kind of introduce the fact that this is a guy who struggles with what things are versus what they seem to be.
Yes. And
all this focus on decay is like, is this what we are? Is this all this is? Yeah. Are we only what we end up as at the end?
Yeah. And that's why it's been said as to be like almost you could interpret it nihilistically. Where's the vapor bit? Okay. The earth seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave overhanging firmament, this majestical roof fretted with golden fire. Why, it appears no other thing to me than a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man! How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty, in form and moving, how expressible and admirable, in action, how like an angel, in apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals, and yet to me, what is this quintessence of dusts? Man delights not me. No, nor woman neither. Like, it gets so lofty. He talks about how incredible, what is the heavens, right? Like it sounds like it's riffing on that psalm.
I mean, I'm sure it is.
Yes, but instead says it's nothing to me. It's nothing. It's no good.
I love later. I think I'm not sure if there's this scene or later where he goes on about like Imperious Caesar. It's like who has been completely ground to dust, and now we use Caesar. We spit in Caesar and use him to patch up our walls to keep us warm, to keep the wind out at night.
Yeah. And you were sharing with me one of the first things that the king says, looking at him, like, we don't know to what extent is this whose side we should be on. So, everyone knows that it's the Lion King. So Scar is telling him, you should stop mourning so much, right? But it really is like a question: to what extent is it unmanly grief? I think is how it's phrased.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
He's your stoic tech bro here. Just be unmoved, guys. Come on.
Yeah. And there's nothing more consistent than death of fathers. It's not unnatural. It's the most natural thing in the world.
Yeah. Which again, like, you talk about another like big theme that kind of keeps recurring is the question of like, what's natural, what's nature.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you want to talk, and again, like Hamlet, I know you can almost see this as kind of riffing on that. You want to talk about natural, like we're all, rank and gross in nature.
Yeah.
Weary, stale, flat.
Yeah. It's also interesting because he keeps on appealing to the relationship between between his uncle and his mother as being unnatural because he refers to it as incestuous, but they're not related. Right? It's so interesting. Like he says incestuous sheets. Like he says that to speak of like, but it's, yeah,
but part of
if
that
his
is
father was alive, it would be, and would be illegal. Like, yeah.
But also, again, some of this is just, I don't know, maybe like Hamlet's young and like kind of like believing concepts too deeply. The metaphors become too real because there's the one point very near the end where I think when he's at Ophelia's grave and he sees his uncle and it says, "Mother, mother," and he's like, no, father. And it's like, but man and wife become one flesh, so mother.
Right.
And so if his mother became one flesh with his father, incestuous, because that's in some sense like you've married your brother in one weird way.
Yeah. You became family.
Yeah. So I guess by Shakespeare's day, we're completely post-Levirate marriages of any sort. Or well, at least not in Denmark.
So that's interesting because if it's after, because there also is questions. People have said it's possible that they started an affair. Like why if indeed, because we never know. We only hear it from a ghost, and part of it is the reliability of ghosts. We don't know.
Yep.
To what extent did Claudius, did this start earlier? How do we understand this? And in some interpretations, it's like it's possible that Hamlet is actually the child of Claudius. Like it wouldn't be ridiculous to claim. And in some productions, there was a famous production where Claudius and the ghost of Hamlet's father were played by the same actor.
Oh, okay.
So which is kind of funny because Hamlet compares the pictures of them and says, "Look at this compared to this. Like, how did you go from this to this?" But like in that production, it's a picture of the same. It's the same person.
And his mom does the Office meme. They're the same picture, sweetie.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I don't go with that interpretation. I don't think there's enough in the show to do that. But you should have questions because she doesn't seem too upset about her former husband having died.
No, Gertrude is absolutely like a mystery to me. She's opaque as to why she made the choices that she made.
Which maybe, if you interpret it that she was shacking up with Claudius from beforehand, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Like at least in the version that I watched, you do kind of get this sort of like triumphant moment at the end where she is. It's by my reading, like she finally stops thinking just about herself, her wants, her needs, and asks, "What does my son need?" when she grabs the cup.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Harold Bloom, who's like a major scholar on Shakespeare. If you're looking up stuff.
I've got his book over there.
Good. The Invention of the Human, that one, or
yep.
Yeah. He says that that there's no evidence that any of his parents loved him. That his father never appeals. The ghost of his father doesn't say, I love you so much, and if you love me, do this. He only says, if you ever loved your father, you'll do this. And shows up when Hamlet is being too mean to his mom and says like, "Hey, that was my wife. Don't be mean to her." But never says, "I understand you're going through a lot. I love you so much. I miss you." None of that. There's nothing there. The only evidence of anyone raising him is, alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. He's the one who carried him on his back, who gave him kisses and took care of him and played jokes and took, like, that's, Harold Bloom thinks that Yorick is the parent figure, the only parent figure to him.
Which, considering in this deep moment of stress, if the real Hamlet comes out in your crisis, and he goes mad and acts crazy and plays the fool for the rest of the play. But I mean, Hamlet's he's definitely like an idealist, and again, like very, very young, and so there's the idea of like he is acting on the basis of his imagined construct of what a father should be, what a mother should be, versus the actual people in front of him.
So there's a contradiction that happens. He's still in university, and people went to university very young. So if that's the case, he should be about 19. But at the Yorick scene, we are told that he's 30, which would be too old to have be going to university. And just straight up, Shakespeare does not care about continuity. Breaks continuity in multiple shows. And because I directed a production of 12th Night recently, someone came up to me and they're like, hey, how do you understand this and this? Like something, they were struggling with something. And I said, you found it. And they said, what? I'm like, you found the plot hole. There's a huge plot hole in this that makes no sense. And you can't make these things actually add up. And they went, what? And I'm like, and I had to walk them through it. He doesn't care. Just does not care about plot holes. Nor should we, I think, as a result. Maybe.
I so appreciate that that perspective. And I kind of feel like the hyper concern for stuff like plot holes is very much like a modernistic, like everything has to be like tightly logically coherent, consistent, otherwise it's just broken.
No. And like Bloom, when writing on this, Harold Bloom says this way you get him still being like in university and being like the kind of getting your thoughts before you have wisdom and a well lived in character. You do that by making him a contradiction. You make him 30 and 19 at the same time. That's what you do, right? You make him a man and like still kind of a boy somehow simultaneously, right? So because if you're 30 and you're going through your emo phase, it's like get over it. But if you're this smart when you're 19, that's weird.
Yeah. I get the feeling we were both that kid when we were 19, David.
Oh yeah, I know. That's one of the reasons why this show.
That's what reminds me, because again, at one point I want to like spend some time kind of drawing out connections between Hamlet and King David from the Bible.
Yeah.
But you also have in David, again, people call like a plot hole, where he meets Saul for the first time twice.
Yeah.
In Saul's court as the harpist,
because none of us have had to be introduced more than once to a human being. That has never happened.
True.
we've never been introduced to someone and they go, we actually met before. That no one has that experience. That wasn't my experience.
Oh my God.
Several times at Midwestuary. It became a joke because I introduced my wife to Luke Thompson 3 times. He's like, I've met you both. And then it became a joke. Every time I saw him, I said, Luke, have you met my wife?
Oh, that is just my entire life. Just because I mean, my job is so taxing on my working memory that I literally have to meet people a dozen times before I recognize that they're, you're one of my regulars.
Look, people remember when they meet the 5'20" guy. You're 6'4", aren't you?
Yeah.
So 5'20", you're 5'20", wearing a balloon crown. People remember when they meet you.
Yes,
right?
100%.
If you're like, look, I've been a weird and dramatic person at certain points in my life. People remember me, and then sometimes they're like, oh, we met before. I'm like, yes, but I need your name again. It's not enough. Because I say I'm David, and they're like, we met before. I'm like, I need your name again, though. Right? Like,
yeah. I did have one of these just last weekend, or at my market, a kid was like, do you remember me from last week? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, and he's like, I'm the guy that actually threw $1 in your cup of coffee. I'm like, oh, that's I need to stop drinking coffee at work. People have been mistaking it for my tip jar recently.
Get a little bit of more iron in your diet that way.
And 1,000 other things, rank and gross in nature.
Yes. I wanted to talk about theology. Can we talk about theology for a little bit?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like we've almost been talking about it, because I'm of the conviction that Shakespeare is a Christian artist, writes within the framework of a Christian worldview, and that it's like deeply, deeply Christian. I don't mean, God created the world and then took a step back. Like, he's not a deist. God is like, if a king is murdered and the murder is not, if justice is not brought upon it, like in Shakespeare's play, when kings are killed, nature often goes awry. In Macbeth, horses turn cannibal after the king is murdered. Like,
yeah, what a great, like, prophetic apocalyptic image.
Yes, his horses eating each other, that they trample each other and start eating each other once, like, it's everything falls out of whack. Like, he sees a great chain of being, a huge hierarchy that human beings are a part of, and that the kings are a part of, and that there's justice in the world, and that things need to be satisfied. And that in this play, never specifically spoken about, but all around it is the question of the Reformation. And if you have never heard this before, I'm going to sound crazy, because you're like, what the hell does this have to do about the Reformation?
So I will just say, like, again, I heard, like, I want to go to study in Wittenberg. I'm like, Wittenberg? And then you told me, like, oh no, like, this play takes place, like, while Martin Luther's in Wittenberg.
Yes. This play takes place, he goes to university in the middle of the play. And university is the heart of the Reformation. That's where he travels. And England is jumping back and forth between Catholic and Protestant. And if you're on the wrong side of that, they were burning each other at the stake back and forth for having the wrong theological opinion. No one actually knows if Shakespeare was a Catholic or a Protestant. He just, like, you're existing within that framework, you just talk about stuff. But this is a major concern of this play, is not only whether or not Catholicism or Protestantism is correct, but it's specifically how purgatory works is a major issue in the show, because the action of the show, depending on your theological interpretation, is a warning from God or a demon from hell.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't give you a clear answer as to what that is, because everything goes to pot because of the ghost. So you could easily argue he was a demon, but then also justice occurs. So you could easily argue that it was a message from God.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I think the biggest thing to say is just, like, he deeply felt the divide. And like, I think no matter what side he was on, he's like, how do we know? How can we be sure? And what are the stakes for getting this wrong?
Which is what Hamlet's soliloquies are all about. He even throws in this idea that our awareness is makes it so that we're less open to act. Like, it's very Nietzschean, right? Where he says, thus conscience makes cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er by a pale cast of thought. So thinking too much and consciousness stops us from doing what we want to do and what we would have done otherwise, right?
And that right there, like, this one is where I feel like this is a question that I just need to do a little bit more, like, deep scholarly work to ask. But, like, him specifically singling out conscience, which is also some, like, what Martin Luther said, it's neither wise nor safe to go against conscience.
And it turns him into a coward. That's such a good question. And so the ghost appears to him and says that the reason why he's able to talk to Hamlet is because he's not in heaven yet.
Mhm.
because he was killed without doing his last rites.
Yes, unhouseled.
Right. So he has sins on him that must be purged. And so he's in a Tory where one might purge, a purgatory, if you will.
Mhm.
And so this question, and Hamlet actually says this could be a demon. He does ask that question, and then he goes off to where the Reformation is happening to go to university and comes back, right? Like this is the theology that is all around the play, but we don't actually know exactly what it's saying.
Right. And I mean, like, he puts on the play, like it says, like, to catch the conscience of the king, but it's also to test the ghost.
Yes. It's a good point, because the ghost shows up again right after that.
Yeah. I know you said many times that, like, because he puts on a play that basically enacts a king being killed by his brother.
Yes.
Do we know anything about whether or not Shakespeare cast the ghost role in the play in the player's role as well?
So we do know some of the people who were cast, and Shakespeare was an actor, and he played the ghost.
Oh,
Shakespeare played the ghost, and oftentimes the ghost and the number one actor are played. It is very, very common that those parts overlap. So we know that Shakespeare played the ghost.
Wow. Okay.
And that he wrote and rewrote Hamlet. And he wrote Hamlet 3 years after the death of his son. And it was redone and like re-put on the year his father died. So, yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Hey, yo.
So, yes. Yes. So he would have been playing the ghost of Hamlet's father. Like all these questions about death of son, death of child, death of father, all of these. Yeah.
Actors are crazy, man. Actors are crazy. That seems.
And this piece is also meta about how art works, right? Like that if you see a strong enough piece of art that you might confess your sins. Like, and that was part of why the ancient tragedies were put on. Is like part of the purpose of Oedipus the King was that by seeing it, like it was actually deemed essential for anyone who participated in the political system to experience the arts so that they actually got out their emotions so that they weren't emotionally pent up and therefore venting how they were making laws and stuff through unresolved issues that watching enough drama would have helped them with.
I did not know that, and that is incredible.
That is expressly part of the purpose, and that's part of why the tragic flaw, that you feel sorry for Oedipus, but you also feel like he needs to be exiled. Because you one day might be on a jury and you have to send that person into exile.
Yeah. So
you need your emotions to be well under control through art. And that art could bring, and we did this in the Bible study where I think it's Elisha is being asked to prophesy and he has nothing to say, but he says, bring forward the musician. And the musician starts playing, and then he begins to be able to prophesy. It's a little too charismatic for a lot of people's liking, but that's how it goes.
At least he keeps his clothes on, unlike Saul.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Sorry, I ranted a little bit.
Oh no. Oh, I mean, I'll bring us back to again, like the purgatory consecrated, and also just the fact that like Shakespeare doesn't. Like he is just committed, I think, to like exploring the tension, because the same kind of concern comes up again when he is like, I think in the actual play, like he confronts it, or he comes upon his uncle in the church, right?
Yes. And if I kill him right now while he's praying, he'll go straight to heaven. And then what revenge is that?
which I gotta say, out of everything that happens in the play, that is the most abominable, damnable, like motivation action out of anything here, honestly.
He does not kill him because he thinks he's confessing.
Right. But there's also again like playing with like the Reformation tension, and I'm not sure how much, because again we're 500 years removed, and you've got kind of deep folk perversion in phrases like "once saved, always saved."
Right.
But there is, I think one of the big things that you get from the Reformation is this focus on assurance of salvation in this life, and the idea like if you believe, if you confess, and so the question is like there's on the one hand him like confessing his sins, receiving, but there's also the expression point, of faith.
Yes, at this point, the Lutherans would still have confession as a sacrament.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone just assumes that immediately it's just like, boom, this is how it works. And they're still working out those things, right? Like, and a way of even thinking about it is like the baptizing of infants. To what extent are sacraments in Scripture, and should they continue occurring, and all these other things? So the Lutherans would continue doing penance, and I don't know where the Anglican Church would have fallen on that at this point, but like they still would have understood us as being able to give resolution to people through confession and everything else. Like, it's an interesting.
Yeah. But then, so this is the one moment that like maybe like pause watching the play again last night was when Claudius is speaking, and he makes this phrase. He's doing his confession. He's like, "Words fly up, but thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go." Which is again this question of like speaking words that don't match with your thoughts, and that Reformation concern for like true faith. Like the point is like those two things need to match.
So some people have actually said that Hamlet should have killed him because Hamlet thinks he's confessing, but he actually isn't. There's a couple of little bits that I'm keeping just to myself. Right.
This is again, like the Reformation concern, like, Catholic doctrine, ex opere operato. What matters more, like, whatever, school things are going on in your brain, or actually going through the explicit rituals of confession.
Yeah. Well, and I'm immediately thinking of a scene of Kingdom of Heaven is when Liam Neeson is just about to die. It's, do you repent of all your sins? And he says, all but one. which I love. I like. There's some honesty in there, but that image of like he's being convicted. He feels there's an error. There's something wrong, but he's not able. I'm not even gonna present them.
But it's also funny that just considering like how much we get access to Hamlet's like back and forth and just like spewing the bile of his soul, and his father or his uncle is just like he just doesn't even like, he can't even like recognize that he's done anything wrong. It's like, I might have done something wrong.
Yeah. But this, let's talk about some other things too. Is that it is impossible to figure out. This play is impossible to fully interpret because it's like you have to make so many decisions and they seem to contradict each other. Because Hamlet might be going crazy, but he also while he's probably going a little bit crazy, also pretends to be crazy. He says, I'm going to pretend to be crazy. And then you're like, I don't know how to interpret this. I don't know how to interpret the scenes between him and Ophelia. Right. And you don't know if he knows people are listening when he says things. So he might be saying things so that people become suspicious, or maybe he is saying things to himself. The meta level in Shakespeare's stuff is weird too, because I believe that you could do your soliloquies, your monologues directly to the audience as though you know that they can hear you. Right. Like Shakespeare breaks the fourth wall all the time. Even in this play, he makes jokes where, again, think about the possibility that Shakespeare may have played the first player. Hamlet writes a play in this, which they perform, and corrects the actors, tells them how to do a good job, which might include Shakespeare himself saying, I pray you speak the speech as I wrote it, trippingly off the tongue. Like, and he gives like instructions, don't saw the air with your arm. is one of the things like where like an actor like talking like this. This is don't do this.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah.
This is bad acting, people.
I also appreciate this one point where he's talking with Polonius about the actors, and in the version that I watched, like he like screams at Polonius, "Pay your actors!"
Mm-hmm. Yes. There's all kinds of bits about that where and then there's a play within a play. Can I find one of my favorite monologues?
Please.
Yeah. Okay. So he sees, the interruption in this is beautiful as well, where he watches a scene from a play, which doesn't exist, by the way.
No, is this the Dido speech?
Yeah, it does this speech from someone crying about Hecuba. And he just goes, what, like, how is it that art has this? And then he interrupts himself and realizes that he's not doing anything. Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all of his visage waned, tears in his eyes, distracted in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting with form to his conceit. And all for nothing, for Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him? Or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do had he the motive and the cue of passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with horrid speech, make mad the guilty and appall the free, confound the ignorant and amaze indeed the very faculties of eyes and ears. Yet I, a dull and muddy mettled rascal, peak like John a dream, unpregnant of my cause, and can say nothing. No, not for a king upon whose property and most dear life a damn defeat was made. Am I a coward? Who calls me villain? Breaks my pate across, plucks out my beard, and blows it in my face. Tweaked at the nose, give me the lie in the very throat as deep as to the lungs. How does he say this? Ha! Swoons! I should take it, for it cannot be, but I am pigeon-livered and lack gall to make oppression bitter, or ere this I should have fatted all the region's kites with the slave's offal, bloody bawd villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompt to my venge, and heavens and hell must, like a whore, unpack my heart with words, and fall a cursing like a very darb, a scullion. Fie on it. Foh, about my brains. Okay, I'm going to pause there. But he all of a sudden realizes that he's doing a monologue and gets mad at himself for doing it and describes himself doing in the heat of passion. Oh, vengeance! Then just goes, why, what an ass am I? This is most, like, what am I doing here? Must like a whore unpack my heart with words. Right? That line, like a whore unpack my heart with words. I'm just like, oh, oof. Right? And so he makes comments about drama and about himself doing a monologue.
Which, and again, like that is the class that actors were like adjacent to in Shakespeare's day, right?
Yes.
But also just all of this, again, like his, like, if they had an ounce of the feeling that I had, they would flood the stage with tears. and calling back later to him screaming at Laertes, like, 40,000 brothers cannot contain the sum of my love.
Yeah. So emo, so overly dramatic. I don't know if you knew this. It's sometimes taught at. So a nunnery, nuns, sometimes nunneries were also lined up with prostitution.
Oh, okay, that I did not know.
Because some of the nunneries were actually filled with, they weren't like, it's where you sent troubled girls. It's like Catholic schoolgirls, where it's like, this is supposed to be about moral fidelity, but then becomes an idea of moral infidelity, right? And so when he says, get thee to a nunnery, there is a dual meaning to that it could be that he's saying, and he outright is saying, never have kids, but it could refer to what does he call his girlfriend's father when he is controlling her? You are a fishmonger, someone who sells fish. A fishmonger was also a term for a pimp.
Okay.
You get it?
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yes. That there's this overlap about there's bits about prostitution, selling yourself, about his mother whoring herself out, his girlfriend being used by her father, who is a fishmonger, him telling her to go do a nunnery. Why must I, like a whore, unpack my heart with words?
Yeah. Well, even like the nunnery speech, one of the things that it really kind of latches onto is just because he's really struggling with like the fakeness of the world, and he kind of really lays into Ophelia for wearing makeup. He's just like, what? This is not your face. What is? It's like, where is the real you? Yeah. And again, makeup is also a thing that we use to cover over blemishes and decay.
Yeah.
There's also again, to like one of the theological themes. Or I'm not sure if it's a theme, but it pops up in a couple of times. But like original sin, in the when they're on the roof, one of the things that I noticed, there's a play on words where he talks about this one little blemish that that kind of like ruins the entire thing, and he uses the image of like a mole on your face as a description. And later on describes his father, the ghost, like a mole that burrows in the ground.
Yes. Well, and in some versions, he would be coming up from the trap door. So he would actually be sinking under the stage. So like a mole is, and that image too, like a mole is a creature that lives under the ground, right? Like,
But also the idea of like his father being the thing that comes into the kingdom and is the blemish that spoils the entire thing. Yeah. And the first way that Hamlet, like Senior, the ghost, is talked about in the first act is, what was it, when when Horatio yells at him and he says like, why do he calls him a usurper, like who are you that usurpest the night,
right?
Which again, like the ghost's all hot and bothered because he has been usurped.
So it actually gives us stage directions that it says beneath when he says, well said, old mole. Like the ghost is actually below the stage calling up where the audience could hear him, which by the way, the Globe Theater, it had like a raised stage. And the bottom, the ground leagues would be standing. So you might be a foot away from the actor yelling up at Hamlet from beneath when he says swear. Well said, old mole.
I want to find when right before the duel, when Hamlet and Laertes are talking, and I know Hamlet is talking about how Hamlet himself is wrong, but like he asks Horatio to forgive and excuse him because it's madness, and then goes on to say, like, in some sense, Hamlet has wrong Laertes, but also Hamlet has wronged Hamlet. There's this whole watching it last night really got this very kind of like Romans 7, like, I do what I don't know what to do. I can't help myself. I can't stop hurting people. And I don't know, want to find Shakespeare's words here. Okay, not the clown.
I'm going to bring up the chat if that's all right.
Yeah, go for it.
While you're finding stuff. This is genuinely among the most edifying things I see amidst the TLC in many years. I'm going to take that as a compliment. I don't know what he's referring to because I didn't see what he was responding to live.
Good to see you, CW.
Yeah, I don't know what I said.
Or CD. Okay, that's not quite it.
Yeah, in the Bible, you are not allowed. You are the original function of a best man, Grim, was to marry and was often your brother, was to marry the wife afterwards to take care of her, to make sure that she was always taken care of. So it's wrong for you to marry a divorced family member's bride, like to marry your brother's husband, which, by the way, is part of the whole, again, referring to the Reformation. That's part of Henry VIII's wife that he had when he started the process of leaving the Catholic Church was formerly his brother's wife. And one of the beliefs was that he was under the judgment of God for that, and that was part of why God was not giving him sons. Right? It's okay if the husband dies, then it is your responsibility. But if you do it beforehand, then it's a form of adultery.
But the other thing about, again, the brotherly thing, the Levirate marriage, is specific, especially for, oh gosh, what just happened?
No.
No, my computer is doing things. It's specifically for brothers who have no children. So there's no one to carry on the family line, which is not the problem with Hamlet Sr. because he has Hamlet. And so, like, the line, like the line is preserved, and Hamlet, even as a 19-year-old, he is old enough to become man of the house.
That becomes a question too. Why if the king dies, shouldn't Hamlet become king, not Claudius? There's yeah. And that he's taken it from him. This is Nick is saying, I remember meeting David because he looks white on screen and ethnic in person. Is this, I don't know. Different people experience me different. So I dated a girl once, and she did not understand why I considered myself a person of color. She was like, you're just white. And then I met her best friend who is Bolivian, and she was just like, so where are you from? Because you're clearly not white. It's like, and I just turned to my girlfriend at that time and be like, are you seeing this? Yeah.
I can't see color, so I'm just better. Okay. I found the bit that I'm looking for here when Hamlet's Roman 7 moment. Around line 210 of Act 5, Scene 2. This is, again, right before the duel. Hamlet shakes Laertes' hand. It says, "Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. But pardoned as you are a gentleman, this presence knows. And you must needs have heard how I am punished, with a sore distraction. What I have done, that might your nature, honor, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was Hamlet wronged Laertes? Never Hamlet. If Hamlet himself be taken away, and when he's not himself does wrong Laertes, then Hamlet does it not. Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow over your house and hurt my brother.
That you're right. That is Romans. I didn't do it. It was sin living inside of me. That's what that monologue is about. Possibly almost like it's so on theme to that it's almost quoting.
And also I like it, like Hamlet, because you're locked into like the drama of a person, like you get a different dimension from Hamlet. You feel Hamlet suffering in a way, like Hamlet hurting himself. Like Paul seems to kind of be suffering with the contradiction. Like Hamlet is like dealing with like actually like stabbing himself, and you're watching him bleed. Yeah. And also, again, like goes to the question of like, is Hamlet pretending to be mad or is he actually mad? And he's just like, even in my pretending, I have done so much damage.
Yeah. I want to say also, it's often cut, but in the background of the play is Denmark is at war, and they're at war because Hamlet's father killed Fortinbras Sr., and Fortinbras Jr. is rising up to declare war on Denmark for that reason. So, and he shows up to kill them, but he's already dead. And so he says, we're going to give him a military funeral. I'm sure he was heroic. I'm sure and praises him. But we get some sort of a sense of divine justice that like all these people may have been like they all were scheming and together and got themselves killed because of, I don't know to what extent we're supposed to feel bad for anyone who dies in this script, which is huge to say because so many people get killed. So the king died, but apparently he killed this other guy's father. We don't know if that was a justified kill, right? We have no idea. It's people who are lying and being duplicitous who are getting killed, i.e. Polonius and Ophelia. Like they're part of a spy plot when they get killed. Or when he's killed and then she dies just of sadness. And he is so mean to her. He's so mean. He tells her she should either run off to join a nunnery or to become a whore. Now it's even more brutal that when he says, "Get ye to a nunnery." Why should
that was the first scene that really kind of like broke me.
Yeah.
And part of that is a testament to like the Ophelia that I saw play. Yes. Like she lit up the room. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, and like her transformation at the end was just devastating because of how just wonderful she was in the first act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did love you once. And then she says, "Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so. Hamlet, you should not have believed me. Your virtue cannot so incalculate our old stock, but we shall relish of it. I loved you not." So he contradicts, I loved you. You shouldn't have believed me. I never loved you. I was the more deceived. So she says, I was the more deceived. Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. I am very proud, revengeful, ambitious, with more offenses at my beck that I have thought to put them in, imagination to give them shape, or time to act them in. What should such fellow as I do crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where's your father?
If this play existed alone, I would feel it's a lot more kind of nihilistic. But because, like, I think if I'm understanding correctly, so much of, especially like Shakespeare's comedies, like basically the more. Did your cat just bark?
No, my dog barked. And
Oh,
then
you
my cat,
okay?
yeah.
You do have a dog.
Yes.
Like your dog hasn't made an appearance on screen anytime I've been around yet. So
Foxy?
all I know is your cat that yells.
Foxy, come here. Come here. Poopy. Foxy, come here. Oh, yes. It's okay. It's okay, my puppy. It's okay. Foxy, come here. Come here. Oh, good girl. Oh, it's a little puppy.
The little teddy bear. Dog mogging.
Yeah.
But so many, like, if I understand correctly, so many of Shakespeare's comedies, like, basically the moral of the story is, yes, breed more sinners. The world must be peopled.
The world. That is one of my favorite lines. The world must be peopled. Okay, I gotta let this dog down. Go ahead.
But the part of the conflict behind the scenes.
Yes, it is. And all the comedies end in marriages.
Yep.
It is. I actually believe that his things are deeply human, like pro-human, and that part of the tragedies is oftentimes resolving problems.
And
like, yeah.
Again, I can't speak to the other treasures. I haven't watched it, but this one in particular feels like it's doubly tragic because there is a potential wedding union that is destroyed.
Yes.
And at least one of the commentators that I looked at, one of like the turning point for Hamlet, because like part of the problem is just the absolute sheer artificiality, fakeness of all of Denmark. Like nobody tells the truth. And for Hamlet, one of the big moments is when he's standing in Ophelia's grave and he shouts in public to everyone else, "I loved her."
Yeah.
And that gives him like a little like pedestal of truth that he can stand on and he can act from.
Harold Bloom thinks he's incapable of love.
He might just be too young for it, and which is part of the tragedy.
I find him such a compelling character. And to me, one of the things that gets brought up when you're acting is everyone wants things to be consistent. And if you really want to play Shakespeare well, play the contradictions. Jump from one thing to the exact opposite in a line. Have him legitimately heartbroken say, "I loved you," and in the same speech say, "I loved you not." Cold, mean, because that's what a breakup is actually like.
Yes.
I never knew who you were. I do not know you. I never liked you at all. I am still in love with you. That's the way, like, the contradiction is the human condition. It's not a like, that is what it's like. It's not untrue to present both of them.
Yes.
To interrupt yourself and say, "I'm being an ass."
Yeah. And again, like the way that he is treating her, the way that she is the absolute collateral damage of everything else he has to go through at the same time is like, you may think you love her, but the way that you're treating her, like, no, I don't. Like, I can't. I don't know, like, politics, purgatory, everything prevents me from loving you.
Yeah, and that's, to me, it's his character is also part of what's so human about it is, like, yes, he uses sometimes rhyming verse and he uses iambic pentameter in places and all this stuff. And so people can feel that means things are illegitimate or like fake, deeply fake. And I agree that, like, there's so much artifice in this where it's like it never tries to make you think you're not watching a play. It makes jokes about that. But at the same time, he's one of the best writers for interrupting someone and making them unable to control themselves, which is part of what I get out of the that this too solid flesh would melt speech. Is he says, why should I remember it? And then he says, let me not think on it. And then says, frailty, thy name is woman. So it's like he's trying to calm himself and just like, but that's, why did she do it? Right. Let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman, right? Like I'm calm. I try. It's so, and then like, but can't control himself. So it's like these elements of control, like lack of control, like discipline, lack of control in the same sentence. I feel this way. I feel that way. Okay, I got another question for you that I want to throw at you. I don't know how much longer we should go on this, but the humor of this, the jester in Twelfth Night, which is one of the which is this very clever comedic part. We know that the actor who played the gravedigger in Hamlet.
Okay,
and so for this, like it actually is the part of a clown. The part of the clown is the guy who talks about death, who is digging up bones and talks about how death works. It's a comedian.
Yeah. I'm very excited. I'm about to leave town to go visit some friends, and my buddy he's a funeral director, and I'm very excited to talk about the guy who's just like Hamlet makes it over, like, you're a little bit too familiar with this stuff, and he's like, that's what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's like I'm a little overexposed to this sort of thing.
It is positioned in the script. It's written as two clowns.
Yes,
are the gravediggers having a conversation. Yeah,
and it is. And again, you need a character like that to get at to kind of like to be the sort of person who's at the bottom, who's able to kind of like expose those like deeply human truths that we're trying to hide. The fact that to dust we all return. They are the ones that are like society forces them to deal with us as we're decaying, so that we can pretend that's not part of the continuity of our bodies.
Yeah.
So they live on the other side of, it's sort of not a priest who's at the top, but like a bottom priest who kind of goes through and deals with the muck for us rather than the holy things for us.
But they're the only one, like the theological debate that the two gravediggers are having too, who are two clowns. It's in Catholicism with all these ideas about how sins work. So Ophelia goes mad and drowns herself. In Catholicism, which Denmark is Catholic country at this time, that could not be known because a suicide cannot go to heaven. Right?
Yeah.
So like they get into
the soul can't go to heaven and the body can't go into consecrated ground.
That's right. But there's question, is it just because, she had the right connections that she's getting a good burial and everything? But yeah, where does Ophelia go is another question that's positioned that immediately has theological significance. I wonder if
that's kind of poking on the who was the Tetzel was the guy who sold indulgences, and basically is if you pay enough you can you can drastically reduce your time in purgatory,
right?
And
right.
Who did she pay to get over this line that the rest of us can't cross?
Yeah. There's part of me that wants to do these clowns fighting about how death and judgment work. It's so long how much they talk about it. And then
I'm totally game.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is the thing. I was watching my previous conversation, where I talked a bit about the theology of Macbeth, And I get too riled up by this. This makes me so excited, like, to talk about this. So, would you like to be first clown or second clown?
I mean, it's your show, so I'm second clown.
Okay. Is she to be buried in Christian burial that willfully seeks her own salvation? Oh, are you frozen or am I frozen? Is this a sign from the Lord? It kind of feels like it. Have I totally lost Matt? Do I got to put this away? Wow. Of all, and he's smiling like a clown at this exact moment. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, but that's how I'm seeing it. What a strange moment. I'm going to pull up what other people are saying. Maybe Matt will return. We'll see what happens. Oh, hey. Hamlet and puberty. Yes. Yeah, you're way behind. I know. Good morning. Is that Scott? It looks like Scott. Matt has finished Hamlet. He's a big fan. Don't worry about spoiling it for him. Yeah. Working in funeral. I've also worked in funeral services before, and it's interesting what becomes normal to people. Oh, now I have to be both clowns. No, Matt has returned.
Oh, kind of. Let me wait. Nothing is connected to my phone. I don't understand why. Oh, connected, no internet.
That's all right. I feel that we covered a lot of ground. People can seek out those bits as much as they want.
Let me see. Hang on one second. Maybe if I do the turn off, turn on again, actually get my computer back on. Maybe.
Meh.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you were streaming too, weren't you? Is that now not happening?
Oh, I switched over to my phone here, so
okay.
I don't know why my house internet cut out.
Yes. What could God mean by this? Yeah. One of the bits that I definitely find funny with the Gravediggers is where
Me too.
where is it? Who is Bert? Where he talks about how he's not burying a woman or a man. Let's go into this bit actually instead, because I find this bit very funny.
Check one, check two.
Okay, you play Hamlet.
Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. Blue.
Are you not here? Can you not hear me? I hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me? There we go. Okay.
Yes.
Trying to link up my Bluetooth here.
Yes. You be Hamlet, and I will be the clown. Yeah.
So we are at.
So let's go from there.
So Act 5, Scene 1.
Yeah. Whose graves this, Sarah?
What line are we at here?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean,
it's when Hamlet
okay,
and the clown are speaking. First clown are singing.
Okay.
Mindser sings.
There we go. Got it. Okay. Yep. Say they are sheep and calves which seek out assurance in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave's this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lay on it out on it, sir, and therefore it is not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, and yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it. To be in it and to say it is thine, 'tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twilt away gain from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For none neither.
Who's to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Okay, I just gotta pause for a second. In the used copy that I've got, right after she's dead, I have in the margins here. Somebody wrote, "No shit." Okay.
Yeah, no, but that bit right there, where it's like, I'm not for a woman, not for a man, because she's dead. She was a woman, now she's dead. She's nothing.
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
how for something, this is near the end of the play. This is like in the last 20 minutes or something like that. And it's two clowns joking about death before everyone dies, and like an absolute cacophony. Like everyone just dying, almost committing suicide. Yeah, it's horrid.
And this is also just on the gender thing for a second. Like the same scene where Hamlet says to Claudius, "Mother."
Right. Yeah. Matt, I think we should not go any further in. I think this was a very, very good taste. We're getting to the hour and a half mark of our conversation. Technical difficulties are happening, which is like the equivalent of someone cursing God and then a light falling next to them, right? We should perhaps we should accept the signs. I think I hope this was a fruitful conversation for people, and I think it'll make them excited to partake of our not Hamlet, Macbeth, and give your own rendition of that this too solid flesh would melt. You do that one, you send it to Grim or myself or to you. You even are giving out your email. What is it?
This little zine at gmail.com.
How do you spell zine?
Zine. Z is in Z for you Canucks.
I go back and forth because I grew up right on the border. So we say both.
Oh.
Yeah, we say Z, and we say Z and Z.
So this is your shibboleth sibboleth?
Yeah, it's one of the things that makes it obvious where I'm from. I prefer Z for because of rhyming reason. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y and Z. Like, get it together.
Yeah, you want to tie a button on that song. That ends with a thud.
Yeah. Z. Duh. That duh has no place. And I do think the English are right where they call it H and not H. H, because that way it starts with the letter. Every letter begins with its letter as long as you have it H instead of H.
As much as I enjoy using metrics and letters to assert my American supremacy, I think I can extend an olive branch and accept the H. I'm willing to go this far.
Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it.
You can die with your metric system, though. No, I want no part in that.
You're deeply benevolent. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Send us your performances. All I want, you don't even have to be a part of it. I want one Jew in the corner to do the Shylock speech. I know it's an anti-Semitic play. Okay. I do think it's anti-Semitic. All right, I'm not. I still think it's good, but I also think it's anti-Semitic. Whatever, that's fine. I think, but I also think that the Book of Isaiah is anti-Semitic and also very good. Anyway, it's just pages of this guy complaining about Jews. Okay, it's. Oh man, I almost did it, but I think I'm going to record myself doing the Aaron the Moor speech because I am a Moor. That's why my ethnicity is confusing. But yeah, I just want one of the Jews in the corner to please do the has not a Jew eyes, hands, organs. Sorry. Okay.
I kind of feel like you're just looking for blackmail material at this point. Then you're gonna just leave that on your hard drive forever.
Yeah. Okay, I'm excited about this thing. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun doing our reading of Macbeth, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy what the final product is. If you've never come out of the lurk before, guess what? I'm gonna give you words. You don't have to memorize. There will be no memorization.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier. So much easier. Everything you say, you blame on Bill. And honestly, you're not going to find better words, frankly.
Yeah. Billy did an excellent job with this one. We're going to see you soon. See you at Bible study on Thursday. Matt, I know you're traveling, so I wish you a good travel. I want to talk to you for like 2 seconds afterwards.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Okay. Making sure